they say, Brian. Yes. That's what you like to see as soon as you start a live show. Is you see the first chat you see is yes. If that doesn't get you hyped for a show, I don't know what would. Welcome in, everybody, to ZNB Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. Hello.
Are you supposed to be wearing a CVS hat?
I have. I found the best hat at CVS.
I think I saw that with it's like it spins.
It just moves, but it's so loud. You can see it. It's sitting on Spider-Man right now. You can see it right there. If you're watching the YouTube show, you can just see the hint of it right there. But it is so loud because if I breathe, that bell makes noise. So I was like, I can't wear it right now. I would like to wear it right now, but I can't wear it right. I mean, I could, but that's all you're gonna hear is just the jingle jangle.
It could just be you in the hat doing the podcast. We don't need my commentary. No one cares about what I have to say. I'm gonna say save your money, don't buy it.
See, you sell yourself, like everybody tunes in for you. I don't think you realize
they
that.
Really
nobody
don't,
tunes
actually.
in for me.
No, that's factually false. Because one of the better received episodes was you and Jake.
Well, he does have but that was all Jake. See what I mean? I want to see a Brian and Jake episode and see what happens. Where are those numbers going to go?
They're going to go even higher.
I'll just produce from the background. At that point, I would just produce from the back. I want to see those numbers, and then if all of a sudden they take off, then Jake and Brian take over. I just produce from the back. I'm the man in the chair, and I just sit in their ear and I give them countdowns and things. That's I could see that. I could see that being a thing, and let the real talent handle this amazing podcast, which, by the way, we have this show, we have next week's show, and we have the week after that. And that's it for the year, chat. And then next year coming back, we're going to be coming back on the new channel on YouTube.
So we're ending the year on episode 49.
48, 49, yes.
Wow, not even 50.
I know, we missed it by that much. I blame myself, and I blame you.
It is both of our faults.
I got super sick towards the back half of this year, and then you were on vacation and stuff, so we just couldn't. There were a couple episodes where I tried to get old Jake to come back, and I think he had enough of me, and he just kept telling me no. It was so sad.
Number 50 is a Christmas special? No, we're not.
I kind of like the 50th, though, is the kickoff of the new year, the new channel. Like, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I can spin it both ways, right? Ending on 50, starting on 50. Like, I could spin that both ways. So we'll but we're playing the hand that we've been dealt.
And in case you missed that announcement, everybody, that we are going to be broadcasting from a new channel at this time next year. It is a ZNB Live dedicated YouTube channel. All of the podcast platforms and distribution doesn't change. So if you're subscribed there, don't worry. Literally nothing is changing. But if you're watching us live on YouTube, make sure you go to youtube.com/@ZNBLive, which is where you can catch the show. All previous episodes, new episodes, clips, highlights, and more are on the way, and that's going to be the new home there. So thank you all for your support and liking this broadcast, all the future broadcasts and everything. Are we going to hit episode 100 in 2025, or are we going to kick that can to 2026?
How many vacations are you going to take?
0. The 2024 was my year.
2020.
Dude, I look at everything and I'm like, I got big plans for 2025. I got my giant calendar. I already have two achievements on the top of the calendar that I'm waiting to put the little sticker on of when they happen.
It would be tough. I mean, that's literally not missing a we get 2 weeks.
We can't
miss anything because we're starting 2 weeks in almost in January.
Let's see if they're, well, actually, we're going to definitely miss one because we're not doing this on Thanksgiving. I mean, we could, no, it's not going to happen. So we're already missing, it's already
Right.
2023. Already done. We're cooked.
Yeah. So we'll have to time it out. So it's only, we'll time it out. So we have
our new airtime, by the way, is 7 p.m. every Thursday, unless it's Thanksgiving in America. So you can look forward to that time on the new channel with all the other content that exists there. So again, keeping it fresh all year long. Man.
I like the idea of a garage episode. I feel like both of it, regardless if we go anywhere or not in 2025, I feel like both of us just need to do an episode from our garages at the same time.
Well, I don't have a garage. I could get a hold of a garage.
Just go do it from a storage unit or something. Like, just go, find, it's the same.
Yeah, let me rent the storage unit for a month to do one broadcast of a choppy signal.
Anything for the craft, sir. You know this.
I know it better than most people.
I know. So what's the problem? It's not like we're not going to have enough stuff to talk about for 52 weeks in 2025, because my goodness, Lego that train's not slowing down at all in 2025, to the point where I'm terrified for what they are going to be giving us in 2025, considering what they're announcing, what they've been announcing over the last couple weeks here at the end of 2024 for the beginning of 2025. This is terrifying. And
for you,
for a lot of people, but also forget terrifying for your wallets. And we'll get into this, but it could be terrifying for the brand and for the product they're putting out as well. And that's going to be a wait and see scenario. But thank you once again, just real quick. Thank you once again for tuning in to ZNB Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. Don't forget to check us out on all the audio platforms as well. Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere you can absorb your podcast that you can do. There's I listen in my car. I listen to Tune In. I don't know if you have this app, but there's a Tune In app, and it's available via that as well. So it's everywhere. It just spiders out. You can find us on all these audio formats as well. But going into 2025, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, Lego has not. It's like it hits us hard. It hits us hard. October. I feel like every month we're like, oh man.
Wait, look at that Photoshop job, dude. Jeez, what kind of a conglomerate mess is this?
It's just, I just wanted to show just the mess of what it was that they're doing to us. Dude. This is the mess that they're giving us. It's a big pile of okay. In January, this does not include anything that they're putting out in March. This is a big pile of junk that they're pushing out in January. And by my last numbers, this does not include the supposed Minecraft sets that are coming out now, which I believe are in January, and it does not include all the polybags. I have 74 sets on my list for January 1st. This doesn't.
Now, is that 74 sets you're buying, or 74 sets that are coming out?
74 sets that Lego is releasing on January 1st.
Okay. Now, how many of those are on your wish list?
You know what's crazy? Not many.
Wow.
Not many, because the majority of them are junk or look like they're junk. We won't know until we get our hands on them. And that, we'll have to wait and see. Some of them just don't fit my niche. Like, I'm not an Animal Crossing collector. Like, I'm not collecting the Animal Crossing set. I'm not collecting all the Mario sets. So like, that's not me. There are a lot of Technic sets coming out. That's not my particular niche either, right? So, I do like some Harry Potter sets from time to time, but I'll tell you right now, there's one Harry Potter set out of the several that are coming out, and we'll get into it for me. But at that price, dude, I ain't buying that set on January 1st. Like, there ain't no way with that price for what you're getting. Okay.
So where exactly are we starting on this 74 set journey? Because we got a conglomerate of stuff featured on screen, a conglomerate of stuff you can find on all these websites. Where are we beginning?
So I want to begin with the overall. When you hear a number like 74 sets hitting in on the same day, this is something that we've talked about a lot on this channel, that other people have talked about all over the internet. Is Lego doing too much for the consumer at one time? And is it is the result sacrificing quality, not just in what you're getting? We have run into a lot of QC issues. We've talked about it on this show. But are we also sacrificing quality in the builds themselves by designers being pushed too thin, too far, too fast to get these things turned around, to push out sets so quickly? I experienced it myself. It could just be my opinion, but I've heard others express this opinion. The expansion was not a good set for the price that you got. I saw the same thing happen with the 66 Batmobile. For how much it cost and the shortcuts they seemed to take in that set, was not a good set. It was a step backwards for a lot of sets that they've come out with. Is this a good idea to be pushing out these mini sets in 1 month?
If you're a Lego fan, you're in trouble. If you're a fan of Mario, if you're a fan of just Marvel, then you're not in trouble, because everybody, as I have been saying, you need to pick and choose your battles. You need to understand that they are making this stuff for not just Lego fans, but for the people who play the Animal Crossing games, and they want their money every couple of months and to cash in on that, right? If you, I keep going back to it. Like, if you are a fan of the Lego brand, you will never find yourself in a situation where you feel under control. You are always going to feel overwhelmed, because there are so many things, good things too, that come out that you want. And even maybe some of the bad stuff, you're like, well, I want to experience it. I want to see the highlight of it, whatever. And there's plenty of cases in here as well. So I don't necessarily feel overwhelmed, even though my wish list is at $2,300. But if I even expanded my circle even a little bit, that wish list would balloon double, triple immediately. So I think now is a time, going into 2025. What are the things you look at on your shelf actively right now, and you're like, man, this kind of sucks and I hate it? And what would you prefer to get rid of, either for a trade-in, selling, whatever? And then say, all right, less of that in 2025. Are you a casual fan of Harry Potter? All right, I don't need to get that Malfoy mansion and this other stuff. I can dial this back, because they're going to keep adding on to that castle. They're going to keep adding on to these MIDI whatever scale builds. It's never ever going to stop. Never.
It's not even about being overwhelmed. Like, that is a element to this for Lego fans, for people that don't just run one specific theme that they try to chase. They love Lego in general, and they like I still stand by that. We're seeing a downgrade in quality from builds to shortcuts, while the prices seem to be ballooning for weird reasons on different sets. And there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we just don't know. Like, and they're never going to tell us.
What I've noticed is they've hired a lot of people, a lot of designers, a lot of people who, whereas before the Lego designers were very tight-knit group. I feel like you have a lot of people exchanging ideas a lot more frequently and collaborating way more, and it being more nuclear in that sense. When you start bringing on more people, obviously stuff is not going to have the same level of quality that you think should be associated with it. And then you got to justify that cost with increasing the price of the product or finding other ways to cut corners and make it happen. So maybe that's the big thing of it there. This has happened with Lego before, where they brought out a bunch of people, they had to course correct, and lives change, people change, situations change, right? So I think that's part of it too, because even in spite of all of what you just said right here, I think there's Lego sets that just should not exist. And I don't think under a different era we would even get X, Y, or Z even coming out,
Sure.
because this isn't a fundamentally good idea, nor is it designed well. But that's something we can get into here.
Yeah, as we go through, and we'll pick out. We're going to pick out, some of the specific ones to hit through this that I feel like touch on should this or should this not exist, kind of thing. One that I think really should exist though is the new modular set that they just announced, unveiled.
The pub? You mean the pub?
The English pub that's not an English pub, that's a coffee house with all these other elements going on inside of it.
Right.
Brian,
right.
I've never the jazz club was as close as I've ever got to really wanting a modular set of some kind in recent history. Like if I look back to some of the ones that came out like really during my dark ages, there were some ones out there that I would have really kind of like. The theater house is one, like I would like to have had that, but not the theater, what they call it, the cinema.
Cinema.
Yeah, that one I would have liked to have, just because of my history.
It's very good.
This set, darn it, if this better not get me into modulars. This set, when I saw early images of this, I was not excited about it. When I saw the official unveil, and this is why you got to be careful about leaks and things like that, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't always do it justice. All right. And sometimes they can sway your opinion before you actually see what it is that they're giving you. I wasn't very excited about it. When I saw the actual unveiling of this and the real images and everything going on inside of it, oh my God. I love this so much. I don't care if it's a modular. I don't care if it's a standalone, but this set in just by itself is interesting, looks fun, has so much going on, has so many amazing elements, has so many cool parts usage things going on there. The space that they've used inside of it, down to the bathroom being hidden away underneath the stairs like you would find in an old English pub. Like, I want this set so badly. My gosh, Brian, I love this set so much. I can't stand it.
Reminds me of something I'd see in Amsterdam. You swap out those coffee cups for translucent green bottles.
Right?
Literally same thing. You have the drafts in there instead of the coffee maker. Bam, there you go. I like this. I wish I had like a stronger affinity for it. It didn't strike me the same way that the jazz club nor the museum does at all. Like it's a worthwhile addition to the whole lineup, but I'm not jumping for joy for it just because I don't have a connection for it. But I would like to build it one day. It's not high on the list. Higher than the Ecto One, but not high enough.
I don't even have an emotional connection to it. Like I've not been to, a real English pub or anything like that. I've seen a lot of it. I have a lot of
the Crown Rose in Epcot. It's close enough.
I mean, it's close enough, right? But that's the thing is like I have enough friends that have gone and have taken pictures and sent me video of them walking around places like
pop the top of that modular off and then put a Mickey on the street and then boom, there you go.
There you go. You got it. And that'll look great in my, Epcot village that I have never built and never will build. But without even that emotional connection, it just the overall style of it looks incredible. Everything about it just is screaming it. And yeah, I'm really curious as to is this a pub inside versus a coffee house inside? I mean, they're calling it a coffee house, but it's a pub.
I can tell you, it's very clearly a coffee shop. If you swap out the coffee machine for drafts, it's a pub.
Right.
I've been in pubs that look like that.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like, yes, that is exactly what it is. And that is their way of, they will never make a Moe's Tavern or a proper pub, right? They're never going to do it. But that's your nod. This is what you got. You got to be happy with it. You're never going to get the real thing.
This is where I look at something like this, and I know it's comparing apples to oranges. Just even from an exterior standpoint, you're going to be able to do a lot more interesting things exterior wise with this versus something you could do with an X an X-Mansion, but when you start looking at the pricing and everything, like, it just doesn't make it makes the X-Mansion make even less sense to me at the price that you're getting compared to something like this. And especially it's in the interior. It's all of the room that you have in the interior and everything going on in the interior and the details going on in the interior and all the stuff down from the clockworker shop to the cat. I'm assuming it's a cat cafe going on inside there. Like, it's just wild stuff, man. I love every second. I wish this was good. I wish this could be a day one purchase for me. And that's the kicker, folks, is they are including an exclusive gift with purchase.
I mean, yeah, this one's actually cool.
With this set that you can only get with this set. And if history tells us anything, especially lately, Endurance with gift with purchases, Lego continues to have a problem keeping their stock in check when it comes to the gift with purchases. And they keep forcing people through FOMO to pull the trigger on something.
FOMO is self-inflicted, my guy.
Ahead of time. It's not, though. It's not.
Yeah,
though.
it is.
Look, I know it's a strategic, sales tactic to do this. But when you make a gift with purchase that is only going to last a couple of hours, dude, that's not cool, man. Like, it's just not. And
Lego they have a guarantee. They're like, we want to guarantee 15,000 of these sold in a week. We're going to make 15,000 of this gift of purchase, and we know for a fact they're all going to go. That's what they want.
But it's the insiders thing, right? This is going to go on sale for insiders, and then it's going to go on sale for the general public. If you haven't signed up for an insiders, what are you even doing? I'm sorry. I have a hard time feeling bad for you, but I do feel bad for you in the same breath, because you're going to miss out on it. You're going to miss. They're gone. They don't hold anything back for that second run of people buying the set. And that's inappropriate.
A question from the live chat from Hagar here. Does the number of GWPs produced equal the number of sets produced? Absolutely not. For the first run, the first that ever come out of the factory, potentially, because they want to get rid of that initial stock. But, I don't know the volume at which Lego sets are sold. So it's definitely not the case. It's not 1-for-1, that's for sure.
You want to hear something funny? Our good friend from Arizona went to the Lego store to buy his Endurance, and they were out of stock, but they had more gift with purchases. They sent them more gift with purchases to that store than they sent sets.
Yeah,
figure that one out.
Well, yeah, that's like this shipping and stock issues. It's not always it might be 1-for-1 across the whole company or whatever with the first production run. I don't really know, but clearly, like, stuff like that happens all the time.
It's just that's bizarre. When it's tied to that, though, that makes no sense to me. I could see it going the other way. I could see, a amount of sets and then you run out of the gift with purchases. But
yeah.
I guess the only way that works is if all of us, for some reason, somebody standing in line went, no, don't give me that free gift.
I've seen that happen before too, actually.
What?
Because some people...
Did you shake the person?
No, some people, they're like, I don't, that's not what I want. Give me what I want and only what I want.
That's okay. All right. Well, they're trying to tell you what you want, what you really, really want. You just got to let them give you what you want, what you really, really want.
Nope.
One of the interesting tidbits to come out of this new set was the inclusion of one of the minifigs wearing the sunflower lanyard thing. Now, be perfectly honest with you, I had no reference for any of this. I did not know what that meant. Didn't know anything about it. And my goodness, the sunflower lanyard is a new initiative that Lego is promoting and pushing, not just with this set, but with Friends and Duplo sets and minifigs. So you can now get all the minifig factories at all the different Lego stores. You can now create your own minifigs from the factories, including with the sunflower lanyard, and they're marking International Day of Persons with Disabilities and it's a way to draw attention to people with unseen disabilities. And like I said, this was a great educational moment for me because I did not know. My wife knows, but I had no clue. And I love that Lego continues to look at things like this and kind of, set a new standard for toys and whatnot in this realm. So bravo to Lego for doing that. So this is going to be one of the first sets that actually includes that. And like I said, going forward, you're going to be able to do build your own minifigs at the factories, and the Duplo sets and the friend sets will also have these. But bravo to Lego once again for setting the new standard with this stuff. Very, very, very well done. You know what's not well done though, Brian, is this new Harry Potter lineup. Oh my God. I got it. First of all, let me talk about this Draco Malfoy, or not Draco Malfoy, but the Malfoy Manor. My favorite part of the Malfoy Manor was the designer video where they were so excited and said, "We are the designers of the Malfoy Manor. We know this has been a highly sought after Lego set. And as we spin it around here, you'll see that we designed a full interior." And I cackled about as loud as I could have ever cackled in my life, because the interior on this set is a wall. It's the reverse wall of that with like a 5 stud deep platform as their full interior. Please, this has to be a set that down the road they give it the old Burrow, treatment and make it so much better, because yikes. You look
That's
concerned.
how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on top of that, they hit us with the Hagrid bike. So let's
start. Do you want me to go good or bad first, Zach? What do you want me to do?
Let's start positive, because I'm being very negative today.
I love the idea of having a singular Lego set in which it includes all of Diagon Alley. I like that idea a lot. I really do. You have every single building. Basically, it's like all Universal Studios all in one go. Just put Shrek in there somewhere. Bada bing, there you go, right? And what I really love, and you said this on your live stream, and I've actually seen a mock of it before, online or otherwise. You put Cinderella's Castle at the end of that with Main Street USA and the Electrical Parade, and by golly, you have the #1 Lego Disney set of all time. And I am like, yeah, that'd be pretty freaking cool. That'd be pretty freaking cool. That'd be cool.
They have the blueprint now. The blueprint is here for that.
It's such an easy blueprint, and you put Mickey and you put Tinkerbell on the. You could even put her on the string, right? Going from Cinderella Castle to wherever you. Ace in the hole, perfect. What I despise is that price point. $200 is stupid. This is so stupid.
It's a micro build. It's a micro build for $200, and that's weird.
Like all the pieces are the size of not even my thumbnail. And it's $200. Like, come on, dude. And no minifigure with it to kind of spice it up a little bit, man.
They do have the micro minifigs,
yeah,
which
but
I think
who cares
are neat.
About that?
Well,
who cares?
It's a neat They didn't have to do those in this set. Like, I just thought the fact that they're painted and they're fully I don't know. I liked it. It was a little
that on the
fun.
Avengers Tower too, or Avengers helicarrier forever ago.
Yeah. I that little, it's just a little, that they give us. I like it. The fact that it can be displayed 3 different ways, at this, kind of an angle. You can close it up, or you can go long, whatever. The Diagon Alley set is for micro build fans like myself, for people that have limited space and what. This is a slam dunk. This is fantastic. The price sucks.
It's perfect if you are, I always envision the people that buy Lego are not us. It's the people that work in a all gray corporate office, devoid of joy. They hate themselves. They hate their life, and they despise themselves, Zach. And they need a little bit of joy to spruce up their working space so that they don't otherwise just dwell in this sadness. And this is perfect for that because it lines up perfectly as you're working at your desk. You have your little shelf of whatever you're supposed to put files on, and you have this entire lineup of Diagon Alley to kind of give you a little bit of joy. Like that's what it's perfect for. I love that.
Yeah, this goes back to what I said earlier when you asked me the question, how many of these are going on your list? I mean, some of these are going on my list, but none of these are day one. None of these are give it to me on January 1st because there's no incentive to do so, number one. But at $200, like ain't no way I'm spending that kind of money right on the other side of Christmas.
Yeah. So I wasn't done. Real quick, the Malfoy mansion kind of looks AI generated, not gonna lie. It just kind of looks like, I don't know why. It just kind of
Malfoy
I don't see the appeal of the Malfoy mansion as like if you were to make it like a Burrow big size, I'm like, whatever.
I could see. I mean, I don't know. To me, it wasn't enough of a character in the books or in the movies to quantify a set. Like to me, that's them. We've run out of ideas. That's what that feels like. And so is this Hagrid bike thing. It is. We ran out of ideas.
Hold on. The Quidditch set. Sure. More of the castle grounds. We've seen it before. You can add in a little section, flesh it out. The elephant in the room here, Zach. I know we are ZMB Live, the Unfiltered Lego podcast. I cannot publicly express how I feel about that Hagrid set with the Harry Potter and the bike and the everything. I cannot express how I feel publicly. I can't. I really can't. And I'm gonna not. And I will tell you off air, not in the post show either. I mean off air, how I feel, because this is I'll say this is not good. This is really, really not good. Really not good. Like obscenely not good. Like very not good.
This Hagrid set is one of the reasons why I posed the question to start the show. Is Lego trying to do too much too quickly?
It's very not good.
Are we sacrificing not quality of build, but quality of sets? And is when Lego starts releasing this much this quickly, and this is the stuff we're getting,
it's very not good.
Is this going to hurt the brand? Like there's right now Lego fans, there's a blind sense of trust. Like I'm one of them where we trust. And I'll tell you right now that between the X Mansion and that 66 Batmobile, Lego has lost a lot of my trust at the end of this year. A lot of it.
I forgot you built that 66 Batmobile.
And then they give me this. And then they show me some of this stuff that they're doing and they pretend to be excited about the manor. They pretend to be excited about this Hagrid set. And then they pretend to be excited about the cost associated.
You think they're going to release this product and be like, hey, here's a piece of garbage?
Well, I'm not saying that they should do that, but I'm like, but again, there's a level of trust, and I'll get into it. But like, we're not even, we got two more categories here, baby. Like it gets worse.
Does it?
Gets worse.
Okay. Go to Marvel. What's wrong with Marvel?
Marvel.
Man, you really like that Red Hulk there. You guys somehow bought that figure, my guy.
First of all, Lego makes, let me just say this real quick. Lego makes that Hagrid set. And then they go and do something like this Red Hulk. And totally redeem themselves. Best minifig to come out of Lego ever.
He's gonna get red like the Red Hulk, just laughing about this figure.
This is the best ever. I don't understand it. I don't know why. Whoever at Lego approved that minifig and said, let's do that. Bravo.
Wait, yeah, Gary's right. Are you arguing this is worse than the Hagrid bike?
That Red Hulk? Absolutely not. I'm telling you right now, that is the best minifig I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I want 17 of them.
Wow, we're there. All right.
We're there. Now, however, this Marvel sign, what is this? First of all, you're going to create a Marvel a sign based off of the MCU, the Marvel logo that we've all, for the last 30 years or whatever it's been at this point. And you're going to embrace the original heroes that brought us to where we are today, except Hawkeye. Excuse me. For some weird reason. Just not included. Oh, and by the way, we're going to give you a Hulk, but he's going to be the minifig Hulk. Instead of having a big fig Hulk blasting out the front of that Marvel sign and then putting Hawkeye where the little mini Hulk is. This set makes no sense. Oh, and we're probably going to get a Star Wars one like it pretty soon. It's going to be missing Chewbacca or something.
I have a controversial opinion.
Oh, please.
I actually like this.
Why?
So this is a Lego set that a 28-year-old man who is nerdy enough to follow the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies would purchase for himself, because you put this on a shelf and you can't immediately tell it's Lego, and you're like, oh, it's a fun shelf decoration. It's fun. That's how he would describe it. And then his love interest comes over and says, "Oh my goodness, is that Legos?" And then he's like, "Yeah, watch this." And he presses a button, and she's like, "Oh my goodness." Anyways, throw it away. Now let's move on to other stuff. But that's like the shelf decoration. Okay, this is not meant to be any more than that. I like the concept of it, in that it is a minimalist Marvel sign, and you can tell it's made out of Lego because of the studs.
Sure.
Now, they could have done this totally studless, right? But that defeats the point. It has to have studs on the front to illustrate the fact that it's Lego. Now, the Hulk with the gray pants, that's stupid. Give him purple or give him the beige or the whatever. The fact that it's missing Hawkeye is stupid. They're not going to have Hulk burst out of the front because the Marvel logo has to be intact. There was probably something legally where they could not destroy the logo itself. So they have to pop out of the sides. The way that you remedy this is you have Hulk with different pants. You have Iron Man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have Hawkeye take the place of Iron Man. And Iron Man, when you flick a different lever, pops up even higher than Hawkeye, like the Marvel Studios 10th anniversary logo, where he was at the top, like shooting out of the whole thing.
Sure.
That's how you fix this situation. Sure. Why Hawkeye was not included, I couldn't tell you. For no amount of money, I couldn't tell you why Hawkeye is not included. That is that's stupid. It's straight up stupid.
Stupid. And this has been my problem with some of the stuff that we've been seeing come out unfortunately from Lego for a little bit now, is they just start making these head scratching maneuvers here. And I don't know it, and nobody's taking them to task on this. Nobody's asking. Or they're not saying, or they're not being pushed to answer these questions. Because, look, a button that pops, plates off. Come on, you added it in there. The fact that you basically added pieces to the piece count to make it do that, and I don't think it's the X-Mansion thing all over again. You didn't need to do that. But you're trying to add more pieces to the piece count to drop that price per piece ratio down a little bit to give us a silly play feature that we do not need. Just give it to us. They're already out. Like that's.
But I think the illustration I gave in the beginning here of that 28-year-old guy putting it on a shelf and having that, like, I say that as obviously a made up story, but I think there is some merit to it being the clean logo. And then if you want to impress the person who doesn't realize it's Legos, you can say bing, 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 bing. There we go. They all pop out and then you can put them back in. Like, that is a sellable feature to some people. Whereas if you had just the standard logo with no minifigures, yeah, that's stupid. If you put them on a stand themselves, yeah, that's stupid. But having them be interactive in the way that they pop out, that adds a little bit more pizzazz to it. And you could absolutely never acknowledge it ever. You could just put the minifigures on top if you really wanted to, but it being able to stay as that clean logo, I think has value.
And I love the studs that you pointed out, the very strategic studs that are placed throughout the logo. I don't know. I've been trying to the conspiracy theorist in me is like looking at this going, okay, what do those studs mean? Like, is there a number there that they're trying to show us? No. Whatever. Like I was like trying to do the math on it, trying to figure out what these studs mean, because they're very strategically placed.
It's just to illustrate the fact that it's Lego. That's it.
And that's fine. If that's what it is, great. I love it. Regardless, I love that part of it. And it's just missing what it needs to. I don't know. It's missing stuff.
Here's the thing. Sean Bauer in the comments, live chat here is correct. This should have been better as an art set. I agree. What you could have done is you could have had you could have given me an 18 by 24 inch frame, and you could have had the Marvel Studios logo with all different textures behind. I get chills thinking about all the different texture behind it from all different movies, whatever, and all the minifigures from the different scenes scattered throughout it. Mm-hmm. And it could be this big piece. You could make that $500. You're telling me you have a singular art piece that pays homage to the Marvel Cinematic Universe legacy that people are really going to care about and want to buy. That's a way that you do it. This is a teaser. This is what they could have done, but they just that's what I would have greenlit.
Somebody out of touch. Somebody out of, unless there was a mandate that came down that said you cannot include Hawkeye in this set. This was an intern designed it in a bathroom. Like they made a mistake with this set. This doesn't to celebrate something that should be celebrated, like what they're trying to celebrate here. They made a mistake. They've missed the mark on this.
And the thing about it too is you can't add anything to it to rectify it. You're not going to add the studio's logo underneath with Hawkeye, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange, because that would be the second wave. That's what you do, because those are the most important characters, right?
Right.
You can't add anything to it.
I don't get it. They seem out of touch with the property that they were designing this after.
Here's something else, and maybe this is a topic for another day. We still don't have a Stan Lee minifigure.
We don't. And somebody said that in our live chat that's what should have been in this thing as well. And I agree. Like that's, to be fair, it took us forever to get a Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So give it time. Like I think it will happen. I would like to see it with something like what Brian has described, where we talked about it with DC. Like, what do you do with DC is you make, Action Hero Comics #1 and you do a thing like that. Like I see.
Put me on the marketing team, you cowards. They're moving to Boston. Just do it. Do it, you cowards.
That's what I want to see with this. Is I want to see that art style. They gave it to us in Spider-Man this past year. I want to see that with this art, that art style, Marvel celebrating Marvel Studios and Marvel as a brand with all of our heroes, and at the center of it, a Stan Lee minifigure. That's how you celebrate this correctly. And will they? I don't know. And I don't know. There's obviously, and it could be, honestly, the Stan Lee name is held. So, there could be legal reasons there.
His name out, unfortunately, for worse projects. And maybe that's the point, right? But
yeah. So just, give it time. I think that's coming at some point in time. I'm more miffed that you have the wrong Hulk here. I have no idea what they're doing with Hulk here, and you don't have Hawkeye. Period. And because I commented on Captain America's arms, where they went with the gray, just solid gray arms, because in the first movie he had gray lining. It wasn't full on gray arms. He had gray lined, patterned arms with blue down the shoulder and halfway through. But instead of one-upping it and saying, okay, on a set like this, a premium set, we're going to actually give better prints and do things on the minifigures that we should do, they didn't. They just went with a solid gray arm and took a shortcut once again on a minifigure and on a set that probably they shouldn't be taking shortcuts on. And I don't get it. So yeah, once again, another January 1st set that I'm not rushing out to get right after and spend my $100 on right after Christmas time. And I mean, this is the Lego fan of this tandem here, kids. And when the Lego fan is going, what are you doing? You start to know that we have problems. That's my opinion. You start to see maybe we're making some mistakes on what it is that we're putting out because we're trying to put too much out too soon, and especially right after Christmas. Oh, by the way, we're not done yet. Let's throw up Star Wars all over this freaking map here.
Easy. It's easy. Yeah, I should just pull my, excuse me. You can handle this one. I'm gonna.
They've been giving us they've been giving us some of these MIDI ships and doing some pretty neat things with these MIDI ships. The MIDI Falcon was a slam dunk. The Super Star Destroyer was a slam dunk. The Tanta V4 was a slam dunk. Like they've done some really, really good MIDI ships. And here's the problem. It was almost like a drug dealer. Like they kept giving us a good taste. They kept giving us a taste of all of the good stuff. And then they held back of the turds. Literally, one looks like a floating turd right now, gray turd that you would find out in the yard after your dog dropped a deuce and it was, 2 months old. These sets, especially at the prices that they are giving us, they make no sense. They make absolutely no sense once again. And I just don't. I know people are going a little crazy over the ARC. What is it? The ARC 170. That ship doesn't do much for me. It's at least it's not gray. It's and this is the Star Wars fan talking. It's just not doing much for me. The Ahsoka Starfighter, okay, at that price, absolutely not. And then Baby Yoda, once again, another baby. This is the Baby Yoda we should have got the first time. It's like I can't justify putting another Baby Yoda on my display shelf, even if it is in a pram.
ARC 170 is cool. I had that one as a kid when Episode 3 came out. It was one of the ones I got.
It's a neat it's a neat play ship. It's a neat play set.
You see it for a flash in the movie. That's about it.
Yeah,
right.
But it's a neat play ship. Again, I don't have as much. I don't know. I just don't have as much connection to that particular ship. I would rather the money that I would spend on that. I would rather go out and get this Onyx Cinder now after watching the first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew and seeing how freaking amazing that show is. Now I have an emotional connection to those characters and that set. I want to go get the Onyx Cinder instead of getting that ARC 170.
The Baby Yoda is cool. You think what's the price on that? For do we know? The Yoda, is it 100?
Yeah, I can look it up real quick.
The first one that came out was a little terrifying. This one's definitely cuter, but I wonder how many people are even still going to be like, yeah, but I don't want to pay for all the pieces for that stupid.
It's 100. Yeah, I wondered if it was if Baby Yoda was past its. I don't know. I wondered if Baby Yoda's time was done.
Life.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, we got a Baby Yoda. I built one. It's sitting next to my Razor Crest right now, and it's like, okay, I don't know. I just feel like I've been there, done that. I don't know if I need to do another Baby Yoda, even if it is in a pram. I just don't. I don't know. I don't get it. The movie's not out yet. The movie doesn't come out for God knows how long. Like the movie's not even close to coming out. Like it doesn't.
This will be retired probably by the time that comes out.
Yeah, the timing on this is odd. Like that's. What you're saying in our live chat right now makes sense if you release it when the movie comes out. Right?
Yeah.
But nobody in Denmark has a calendar. So
Yeah, and all these other sets kind of, I don't care.
It's
I'm
like
good.
the Onyx Cinder thing, which I think got delayed, so I don't think it's necessarily on Lego at that point. But you know, the Onyx coming out way before that television show ever got premiered. You know, now, like I said, now I want to go get it. Now, like, hopefully you can still find it and it's still out there, and you know, whatever. Now I want to get it. They need to be checking. They need to be checking calendars every once in a while, because this is getting ridiculous. Like I said, it's a, you know, it's a cool. It doesn't, that Arc 170 doesn't do like what the you know, what the Ghost did for me as a Star Wars playset ship that I will proudly build and display. You know, is that an amazing ship to go get my nephew? Absolutely. Fantastic. You know, is it ridiculously expensive? Yes. Like that's the other problem. But
I rewatched Rise of Skywalker the other day with my friends. That's a bad movie, dude. So bad. It's so bad. And you know what's amazing? Disney, they haven't made any sets of that since it's come out. That's how bad it is, and that's how people don't want it. Like there has been such, like, you've seen stuff come out for like all these other franchise, like all these other subsections of Star Wars, but the sequels,
the current
nothing.
The current Falcon is Rise of Skywalker. I think they're
Yeah,
retiring
but
it
they
this
did
year.
that when the movie. Yeah, like you know, you have carry 1,000 Millennium Falcons. They released more Millennium Falcons than there are whatever. Like,
right. But yeah, that Lando and all that, that's all from the character, the minifigs in that current Falcon playset is.
Yeah, and they include the dude who gets his head chopped off 5 minutes into the movie.
Hey,
so
man,
like,
that was
who
Mark
cares?
Hamill.
That was his voice.
That was his voice. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's not my favorite by any means. But you know,
I mean, I maintain they should have had the script for all 3 of those movies done before anyone picked up a camera, and I don't know why they didn't. I have no clue. Of all the things,
well,
you cannot mess up in this world.
That one was
the sequels to 4, 5, and 6 under the Disney regime.
I mean, we can get,
and they royally messed that up.
This is a whole other topic, but they did.
Dude,
I mean, they had to pivot. They had to pivot on that last script because of Carrie Fisher's untimely death.
That and Rian Johnson sucks for changing the entire fabric of what Star Wars represents in regard to the Skywalker legacy, because I just want to change stuff because whatever.
By the way,
they're all the same movie for 7 movies. 8 being radically different is not the time where you change the fabric of everything to then rectify it in 9 with the dude that did the one before you.
By the way, Rian Johnson's themes, or some of his themes, are in Skeleton Crew, and I love it. Ain't nobody complaining about it. Love it.
What do you mean, like themes?
The idea that Jedi are looked at as heroes and the kids play with the toys, and like we did as kids, right? Like the kids of the galaxy treat them as action heroes and action figures and things. I loved that. I loved that got moved into the Skeleton Crew. Love that so much.
That's fine. But when your entire 7 movies is based on this idea, and you try to radically change everything in 8 to make it okay for 9, when your job isn't guaranteed for 9, you dummy, you ruin everything. Everything. You ruined it all single-handedly because you wanted your vision and your greasy little fingers in it to make your mark. And now what you get? Nothing. You go into the abyss to never work on Star Wars ever again. You Goomba.
Love 8. 8 is probably 3rd favorite out of all of them.
9 sucks because 8 changed everything.
9 sucks because of being pushed into a corner for multiple reasons. That's what I think.
They should have had the script locked in for all 3 movies before you pick up the camera for any of them.
Listen, again, I could argue Star Wars scripting till I'm red in the face and you're blue in the face, because the fact is George Lucas himself couldn't script his own movies to have cohesiveness. Okay.
You know what? I don't disagree with that. I'm not saying they're good. But you can see the through line between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see it. And you can even see it through 7. Like, I get it. You're trying to, remaster A New Hope for that new generation. You're adding new stuff. The cinematography, the themes that Abrams had. I'm all in. But it's the concept. It's the fabric of it into 8. Where Rian Johnson is like, nah, the Jedi, blah, blah, blah. Like you can't expect the fans to have a positive response to just dunking on everything in the second to last movie that's supposed to finish out this franchise that's been 50 years in the making. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. For the sake of money, for the sake of legacy, for the sake of viability of the franchise. And they haven't been able to recover since.
Yes, they have.
No, they have. Mandalorian was their one thing, and everything else has not resonated. Nothing else has resonated.
Andor, 3.
You know how many people watch it? You know how many people are like foaming at the mouth for it? Is not of the same level as Mandalorian. And now
Skeleton Crew's rocking a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because everybody said the same thing about Ahsoka and the same thing about Acolyte and blah 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 blah. Same thing. Okay, we gotta wait.
I'm just saying, you can't say that it didn't recover, because they did.
No, not to. People used to look forward to Star Wars. You would clear your calendar for the week because you're like, oh my goodness, Star Wars is coming out. This is special. And then it instantly became unspecial, where people are like, okay, I could skip Acolyte. Okay, I don't need to watch I didn't watch Andor. I didn't watch Acolyte. I know I need to watch Andor. I know. But like, people don't care. They don't care. It's not special anymore. And they're trying to make everything special, and they're not going to be able to do it. Same thing is happening to Marvel. And Zach is smiling right now because he knows he's going to get so many clips out of this to post up on the channel and rake in the views while all the trolling neckbeards are going to be.
Our Lego podcast, that has absolutely nothing to do with that.
This is what the show should be. It is Lego and discussing the themes that it covers in more in-depth. If we did a 2-hour show and it was talking equally about the pop culture-ness of the Lego and what it represents,
Lego's doing the same thing as Marvel, pushing out too much crap, and they need to dial it back a little bit, or the trust will be gone. That circles all the way back to what we talked about to start this show. You will lose, Lego, I'm pleading with you. You will lose the trust of your audience if you continue to go down this path.
Make Lego special. Make it a Don't let people get overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on. Make it a special day, January 1st, with like everything being as thoughtful as it was.
They should have doubled down on that modular, right? And like just made it all about January 1st should have been all about that modular. And that's it.
And you know what now, Zach? Less than a month before it comes out, and it's just another box on the shelf compared to everything else coming out. Isn't that awesome?
It's awful. And that's my point. It's have
just another box.
And if you're going to release 74 plus sets on the first day of the new year, what are you planning? What other junk are you planning on pushing out throughout the course of the months? We already have a plethora of sets for March that have already been released, right? So now you're talking, we got a few sets for February. March is going to be ridiculous. You've got April. You've got May. You're going to get back into the Star Wars stuff in May again. June, July.
Month.
Stop it. Start focusing in on what's important. Get a couple big releases, and that's it. Dial it back. You're a $1 billion company. And if you lose the trust, you've done it before. They've been down this path before where they lost the trust of their audience, and it took them a while to get it back.
And you know what we got? We got Bionicle. Let's not do that again.
Galador. Like, you gotta, I'm telling you, Lego. You're walking the path of the dark side. You're walking a path I cannot follow, Lego. And this is the Lego fan talking.
Lego is the Ryan Johnson of the toy industry.
Oh
Don't mess it up.
8 was spectacular. There's one bad thing in 8, and it's the Falvier sequence and Canto Bite. Other than that, loved it. The themes
it's the show. We'll talk about it next week.
Well, we got a post show that we get to do. So if you are live with us on these shows over on YouTube weekly, you get to hang out with us after the show is done, and we get to discuss all these things, and I get to turn even more red in the face about talking about Star Wars and why Episode 8 is actually a masterpiece.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate your time and patience here.
We lost the 10 fans that we have. I lost 8 of them saying that episode.
We lost Lauren. We lost Lindsay, Aaron. We lost them. They're gone.
I got Jake back though, so that's all that matters. Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Brickster, by another fantastic episode. Again, if you are live with us here on YouTube, stick around. We're gonna have the post show for you guys. If you're not live with us, make sure you maybe do the live thing with us. Hit us up here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things. Don't forget to check us out on all the podcast formats, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all over audio podcast channels. You can find us. Thank you, Mr. Brickster, Brian, for another fantastic show. Everybody else, stick around. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!